I commend this bill to the House.
The question is that the motion be agreed to.
Mr. Speaker.
Penny Inara.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for this opportunity. I rise to take a relatively brief contribution to the second reading of the Local Government Amendment Bill, the Auckland Council number 3. And can I congratulate the member Alfred Ngaro for bringing this particular amendment into the House. I wasn't on the Select Committee, Mr. Speaker, but just from the general comments around the previous bill and the robust debate about that, and of course this one now, I congratulate the Select Committee for the hard work that they've done on this particular bill and the one we've just heard. Mr. Ngaro, sir, talked about the 17 submissions and how that there's a general consensus, in fact quite a majority consensus for this particular amendment. And while it might be small, I think in the big scheme of things in a place such as the great electorate of Tāmaki Makaurau, I think it's actually a very relevant thing. And it reminds me of a whakatauki, given that the National Party are really keen on whakatauki this evening. I thought I'd put in one of my own. Ka pū te ruha, ka hao te rangatahi. And the great thing about that particular whakatauki, sir, is that it allows for new leadership to come through. It doesn't allow people to monopolise such key positions within our communities, because I do want to acknowledge the speech given by Mr. Ngaro about the importance of the role of local boards, and no more so in Tāmaki Makaurau, given it's such a big city. And quite often, a lot of people can find themselves lost in the urban milieu. But it's important that particular areas in Tāmaki Makaurau find a voice, one that's relevant to their community. And even better if they can find leadership within their own community. And I take the point made by the member how important it is that those seeking election on local body, at local body level, actually live and serve their communities, and that's an important point to make, sir. And there are challenges within Tāmaki Makaurau about that. Quite often you can serve a particular local board, but live just slightly outside of the area. But the main thing is that your heart and the intentions and the goals and aspirations you have for your community are best served by those who are local. Mr. Speaker, Clause 11AA, it talks about exactly what the intention of this bill is to prohibit members from from standing as elected members on multiple boards. I do wonder, though, Mr. Speaker, and I put this to the debate in the House this evening, when I consider Māori and Pacific Island representation on our local body, there seems to be a lack of fair representation or equitable representation on those bodies. And I wonder, sir, if this particular amendment might have an unintended consequence. It might stop or discourage those of Māori or Pacific Island descent from representing their communities. And I say that, sir, because while I see you're frowning at my comment, I say that because because if there is one thing I do know about Māori representations on boards, whether they be Māori boards or non-Māori boards, is that it is really, really hard to find the correct skills and expertise to bring to those leadership roles. So what you find quite often, sir, is one person wearing multiple hats. And it's to do them, and I think I'd hate to see that particular set of skills or talents lost as an unintended consequence of this particular bill. But it is relatively technical. Once again, sir, in conclusion, I just want to congratulate the member for bringing this into the House, and also his acknowledgement of the member from this side of the House who is passionate about local body politics. And in conclusion, sir, can I just say, for those who are intending to stand in the upcoming elections in Tāmaki Makaurau, all the best, because we all across the House here understand just how hard it is to put your hand up to seek representation of your community. So I wish them all good luck, in particular one member, and I'll end there, sir. Tēnā tātou katoa.
Scott.